Hello everyone, my name is Jaybird and welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon. Yeah, let's just jump into it. We're in chapter 8. Cool beans. It has almost been 3 weeks since Mother's revival and yet I have not heard or seen anything of her. What are you planning to do, Mother? Parfait told me before that the Tenenbaum had already chosen me as its next bearer. Does that have anything to do with why Mother is still in hiding? It is impossible not to feel the weight of my new responsibility. I have not yet fully accepted that I am now the bearer, but I cannot run from this responsibility for long. The Tenenbaum bearer's duty is to work alongside Parfait to balance the light and darkness of the kingdom. That balance had only just begun mending before Mother's sudden revival. For nights I have been wondering if there is some other way to stop Mother without fighting her. A small part of me hopes that perhaps Mother can still change. I think about that, and then I remember how Mother so heartlessly killed Father as soon as she had been revived. She was sleeping for 4 years, but that did not change her mind. Even now, I can only assume that she still means to make this kingdom suffer. Sorry, I'm dying inside. Leave me alone. It feels as if my heart is twisting itself into a knot. I gasp when a bright spark fizzles to life in my hands. Ugh. I clench and unclench my hands, taking deep breaths to calm myself. Ever since I started trying to work with magic, it has been activating on its own. Whenever I feel any sort of deep emotion, some type of electricity sparks in my hands. It is all I can do to try and keep my emotions in check. The last thing I want is to accidentally burn down the Marchen or hurt anyone inside of it. Delora and Waltz have both agreed to start teaching me how to use my magic. For the last few days, the forest near the Marchen has served as the training grounds. Parfait constantly cloaks the Marchen in powerful magic to keep our presence hidden from Mother and the other witches. It allows us to use our magic without worrying about being tracked. Still, Parfait's constant spell has considerably weakened her. Delora and Waltz tried to convince her not to cast it in the first place, but Parfait insisted that we remain as close to Tenenbaum as possible, rather than move somewhere safer. She told us all that I need to be close to the Tenenbaum as its bearer. As far as we all know, the crystal is still unmoved in the palace. I know that the chance I will face Mother in a battle of magic is extremely high. Although I fear the outcome, I have no choice but to consider the possibility. Time is running out, and I do not have the luxury of waiting much longer. I must decide what I must do. They all believe that I am the only one who can stand up to Mother, even with so little practice. Last night I told Parfait that I would make my decision the next day, and that I would tell everyone what I had decided. Now is the time for that decision. When I step into the reception room, everyone is already there waiting for me. I catch Waltz's eyes first. He cocks his head up ever so slightly, his lips stretching into a warm smile. Ah, boy! I nod at him and smile back. I take a deep breath before facing everyone. This is the first time I have spoken properly with everyone since my father's death. Before I tell you of my decision, I want to apologize for everything that I have done and for everything that has happened. Mother is back because I was a coward, and Father died because I was weak. Jaybird. Ophelia is the first to respond. It wasn't your fault, dear. I stare down at the ground with my hands clenched. I will try to will my anger away, but only manage a few deep, stilling breaths before I look up again. I brought Mother back because I feared that disobedience would have them kill my father, yet in the end he was still... The image of Father's smiling face flashes through my mind. I clear my throat. I promised him that I would protect Angeli, and that is what I intend to do. I will do everything I can to protect our kingdom. Spoken like a true queen. The words are shocking, even more so when they come out of Delora's mouth. Queen? Why do you seem surprised, princess? You know you're next in line for the throne. I hadn't even thought about being the next ruler. I'm not even sure I have the right qualities. Can I really do this? I wanted to see you become queen. Oh no! Protect our kingdom. I cannot let father down. I have to do this for his sake, but the kingdom comes before the crown. I will only take the crown if I can win it back. I will need your help. I will have to rely on all of you. I will need your help. Say this, yes. I am still weak, but that will not stop me from training every day until we face Mother. I hope I am not asking for too much, but I hope you will all fight with me to protect our kingdom together. You didn't even need to ask us that, Jaybird. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I just thought I would be polite and ask anyways. God. It goes without saying that we'll help you in any way that we can.
Except that we'll all be here for you.
I smile at everyone gathered. So this is what it feels like. It feels to be trusted and needed. It feels good. Feels good, man. JPEG. It will be hard, but we will stop Mother. Together we might stand a chance against her. Hilda is strong, but not invulnerable. Parfait looks at me, eyebrows furrowed.
You know what we must do to stop Hilda, princess.
I feel a tinge of pain in my chest, but force my eyes to hold Parfait's gaze. I look into Parfait's eyes with determination. I do. Later that same day, I resume my training with Waltz while Parfait and Delord try to come up with a plan. Durin and Garland returned to the town to listen for any information regarding Mother and Alcaster or any happenings in the palace. I force myself to focus only on learning how to use my magic as fast as I can. Today, Waltz is continuing his lessons on barriers. He has been teaching me the same spells for the past week, emphasizing my protection. Let's review the types of barriers I've been trying to teach you. Do you remember them? One shields you from harm, while the other deflects the spell back at a caster. Powerful spells cannot be deflected. That's why you need to be able to tell which spells can be reflected and which cannot, otherwise you'll end up using the wrong barrier. A single mistake can cost you your life. So how do I know what barrier I must use? Allow me to demonstrate. You've seen me cast my spells many times, so you should be able to tell the difference between them. But for now, let's think of it as another game. Just take a guess. Who knows, you might actually give me the right answer. I'll give you a nice little treat if you do. Ooh, give me a treat! A treat? You always did like treating me in town. It's special this time. I wonder if this is just like those other sweets you treated me to before. No, this is gonna be something different if you know what I'm saying. I'm just kidding. Maybe. I don't know what I'm supposed to expect from him. Walt snaps his fingers and a glimmering but faint purple light appears around him. Ooh. It is faded at first, but slowly becomes brighter as he moves his hands. Usually the effects of Waltz's magic are immediate. This spell is taking longer to cast. Is it stronger magic? I remember Waltz telling me before that it takes a lot of energy to cast a strong barrier. Does that apply to offensive spells as well? Question time. What kind of barrier should you use? A shield, a deflector. I'm gonna say a shield. The slow casting time makes this seem like a powerful spell, and powerful spells cannot be deflected. Surely this is the right answer. Is that your final answer? My confidence is thwarted by sudden indecision. Jaybird, in the midst of battle, you won't have the luxury of time to think about your decision. I look at him and nod. It should be the right answer. That is correct. Now prepare your shield. I've never shielded myself from a powerful spell. What if my barrier breaks? Trust in yourself, Jaybird. I do as instructed and stretch out my hands to cast a barrier to shield myself. Here we go. My hands shake as Walt's spell collides with my barrier. I plant my feet to hold myself upright. Such a strong spell. Ooh woo.
Such a strong spell. Ooh woo. Let me at the stop.
I don't know. I don't even know what half those Japanese words meant. I know kawaii this. I know that. I know nani. I don't know what desu ka means though. If that's 2 words or not, I don't know. Anyways, when the light dissipates, I look up hesitantly, before smiling triumphantly when I see that my barrier is still in one piece. I did it! Well done, little star. Don't call me that! It makes me feel weird in my groin! Jesus Christ, this channel is just going downhill. No, I think it's going uphill, actually, never mind. I eye the barrier again. My heart sinks when I notice new cracks in its surface. My barrier. Don't fret, Jaybird. Even the strongest barrier will obtain cracks after being hit by a powerful spell. That is when you set up your next barrier. Your opponent will usually make the mistake of assuming you have the same shield up and attack you with a weaker spell to try to break it. You can be ready for them with a new barrier. I nod. I'm impressed at how fast a learner you are. I have a good teacher. Aw, shit. This shit is cute. I think you're just a good student. So, when will you teach me offensive spells? I don't think you need to learn those quite yet. The witches we're up against will probably stick to offense, which means protecting yourself will be even more vital to them trying to attack them. I told everyone that I would fight, and I meant it. If I need to hurt someone to save someone, I will do it. Do it. I look him in the eyes, my gaze unwavering. I still need to learn, even if it is just one offensive spell, Waltz. What if I need to help you? I cannot do that by just conjuring barriers. I will not lose anyone else this time, Waltz. I look at Waltz and my heart aches at the sight of his frown. I do not want to lose you either. That is why I need to be as strong as possible. I want to be able to protect you. Waltz makes his way over to me in just a few strides and pulls me into his arms. Aww. I will do what I can to save you from a repeat of what happened last time, Jaybird. But you won't lose me. Oh! Waltz pulls back and looks at me, his expression warm and gentle. Here's your treat, as promised. Oh no! Huh? Nani? Waltz bends down. Oh no, he's bending over. I'm not into that. I'm just kidding. And to place his lips over mine in a soft kiss. Oh, okay. That's okay too. It is a short-lived kiss, but it is still enough to make me breathless. Wow. You're all red, Jaybird. Shut up! That was your special treat? Disappointed? Disappointed! You know. Sorry. I quickly press my cheek to his chest to keep him from seeing my tinted cheeks. No. Let's call it a day. You need a rest. Teach me an offensive spell first. Jaybird, we've been practicing since morning and it will be dark soon. You already know that overusing your magic will take a toll on your body, especially when you're still getting accustomed to it. I shake my head at Waltz, determined. Using my magic before did wear me out, but now I can handle more. What kind of bearer would I be if I couldn't handle this much? Please, I am begging you, Waltz. He eventually sighs and rubs the back of his neck, not his necks. He only has one neck. He only has one head. Imagine a guy with 2 necks but 1 head. Okay, now stop imagining that. This is kind of freaking me out. I'm imagining it right now and I'm freaked out. Okay, but just one spell. Thank you. Like, it shares the same, like 2 necks that share the same head, you know? You know what? I should draw that. That looks... I'm gonna draw that. I'll get back to you later. He steps away from me. What I will teach you is a lightning spell. It's not for the faint-hearted. It will inflict excruciating pain on your enemies and will also potentially paralyze them. And not as Waltz continues his explanation. Though I try my best to conjure the electricity, I've only managed sparks at the end of the day. I collapse onto my bed. I can feel the exhaustion lying over me like a blanket. I can barely move my arms after trying the lightning spell over and over again. I need to learn that spell as soon as possible. I yawn and then close my eyes. Sleep comes easy that night. Jaybird, that voice. Come back to me, my sweet princess. No. You have no choice in this, little one. You will come back to me, whether you like it or not. I will be waiting for you. I sit up in my bed, my heart pounding loudly in my chest and in my ears. A dream? I wipe unexpected beads of sweat from my forehead as I calm myself with steady breaths. No, I will never go back to you, Mother. I end up waking up later than usual, a result of my practice from yesterday. When I step inside the reception room, I see Jern and Garland speaking with Parfait, Delore, and Waltz. There is definite solemnity to the air. Solemnity to the air. Sorry. They all turn to look at me as I approach. Did something happen? Princess, the palace made an announcement today. They are issuing a higher bounty on your head for murder and treason. What? It was very strange, what with the fact that they haven't been even bothered to look for you since that day. Something must have happened that forced them to suddenly act. Dolores soon gathers everyone in the room to discuss Jern and Garland's discovery. The only one who is not here is Annis, who is in town buying ingredients for the Marchion's meals.
But Jaybird didn't kill anyone. Isn't there some way to convince them?
Castor is in power now, and the people favor him. Now that everyone remembers who I am, they are once again frightened of me. No one would listen to you.
They haven't seen how much you've changed. If only they could understand the circumstances, then they might be more sympathetic.
I look at Emmeline in surprise and find myself smiling at her. Thank you for your kind words. I turn to everyone once again and frown. Once again, I am the one putting everyone in danger. I'm so sorry. If any one of them gets hurt, I will never forgive myself. Waltz takes my hand and squeezes it. The simple gesture does wonders to calm my nerves. Does wonders? Yes, he has the magic touch. Because he's magic and he's a boy. With hands. I don't know where I was going with that. Don't be too hard on yourself, Jaybird. We've told you already. We want to help you. We're in this together. We're all in this together. I don't know the rest of the words. I haven't watched High School Musical in forever, okay? He's right. I'm not sure if there's much Rod Emmeline or I could do, but we will definitely support you until the end. Before I might have cringed at her words, but now Ophelia has nothing to gain from pretending.
Mother is right. We're a family and we will not abandon you.
Ophelia and Emmeline are both smiling at me warmly. Even Rod seems to have a ghost of a smile on his face. Thank you. I apologizing for bringing this up, Karma, but is it possible to ask for reinforcements from Brigantia? Brigantia? Or Cia? Brigantia or Cia. I don't know. Sometimes it's pronounced Cia, you know? It's one of our neighboring kingdoms. We had never had close ties, mostly because Brigantias... I'm gonna just say Brigantias, I like that better. Kings tends to stay away from our personal and political affairs. They have always refused to engage in any sort of violent affairs. We all look at Karma, who stands there looking sullen. After a few moments, he lets out an exasperated sigh. You want me to ask the kingdom of Brigantia for help? I remember Karmas mentioning before that he was a part of a noble family, but I did not expect him to be from Brigantia. Or Brigantia. I like Brigantia better. What is he doing here, and how could he possibly ask for help from a king? Because he's a prince! The king does not participate in battles or skirmishes. It seems unlikely that he would provide support. He wouldn't provide assistance. Not even if his own son asked him? Son, you mean? Yes, yes. Karma crosses his arms and sighs. Well, I suppose there's no use in hiding it anymore. Yes, I am the son of King Clemente of Bragantia. Judging from the sudden quiet in the room, it seems that Parfait, Delore, and Waltz and the Knights were the only ones that knew. You're the Lost Prince? The Lost Prince? Gennaro told me that King Clemente's oldest son had disappeared just a year ago. There were circumstances. My family never knew I had the fairy tale curse. I was forced to leave my kingdom so that I could come here to break my curse. He came to Angeli to break his curse? Yes, that's what he just said. God. His eyes wander slowly to me, but then he focuses once more on the conversation. To answer your question, though, I do not believe my father would send help. He hasn't heard from me since I left a year ago, and he would most likely think me some kind of imposter unless I showed up at the kingdom's doorstep. Even then, he would have too many questions, and we would never get the help we were seeking in time. It seems we can't rely on them for help, then. We all turn to stare at Annis. The fine Lady Annis has suddenly appeared in the margin. What magic is this?
Actually just came back. I'm sorry for startling you all, but I found this and I had to bring it back.
Her smile fades as she pulls out a flyer for us to see. An announcement? From the look of it, 4 days from now, Alcaster will make a speech about the changes that are to happen in Angeli. Changes? That doesn't sound very promising. No, it doesn't. It means bad news, but it may be worthwhile to take a look. This might give us some insight into what's happening at the palace.
Hilda is still in hiding, but it seems very likely she could be involved in all of this somehow. They could be plotting something special for that day.
Garland and I can go to the event then. We'll make sure not to stand out. I am coming too. Jaybird? I need to know what is happening. I cannot hide forever, Waltz. I will go, and I do not need anyone's permission to do so. Well, I guess you're technically the next queen after all.
Delora, don't encourage her.
We both know how stubborn she is. She won't stay put even if we command her to. Delora looks at me and winks. Parfait lets out a heavy sigh.
Waltz and Karma will accompanying her then.
Waltz nods. Karma looks somewhat startled, but eventually nods as well. So until that day comes, we all need to prepare for the worst case scenario.
Oh, you're so hot, Waltz!
I love you. I hope I get an image of you soon for the thumbnail. I have been practicing my magic non-stop since the day we heard of Alcaster's speech. I continue to work on my barriers while also continuously attempting that one offensive spell Waltz tried to teach me. Okay, remember what I told you. Focus your energy on the tips of your fingers until you feel the current flow from your through your veins. Okay. Good. Now try to cast a spell at me again. I stretch out my hand and imagine the energy gathering at my fingertips. I see sparks as I begin to cast the spell. Good, keep going. At the end of my casting time, I can feel the lightning snaking up and down my arms. Now release it. I direct the spell at Waltz with as much strength as I can muster, but it barely touches his barrier before it fades away. I groan. You're getting there, Jaybird. The magic is weak, but it still might be able to paralyze someone for a time so long as you hit them when they don't have a barrier up. But the speech is tomorrow. I will not be able to master it by then. You don't need to. Let's not assume things will be so bad. We're only going to be there to watch a speech. If that's all it is, you won't need your magic. The two of us continue to diligently work, but after a few more rounds, my arms are sore and my mind is foggy. Waltz calls it a day, and the two of us retire to our rooms for the night. Aw, come on, why can't we retire to one of our rooms for the night, if you know what I mean? I've tossed and turned in my bed for what feels like an hour, but sleep still will not come. It has been almost a month since I last went into town, and it is impossible to not imagine the worst possible scenario for tomorrow. I will probably be awake until the sun rises. I turn to glance at the doll that Waltz gave me so long ago. She sits on my table, her glassy eyes staring back at me. I wonder if he's already asleep. Maybe he can help me calm my nerves. Waltz? There is only silence. Maybe he is already asleep. I'm about to leave when the door suddenly opens. Jaybird? Hello, Waltz. I'm just smiling at him. Let me guess, couldn't sleep? I nod. Come in then. Oh my god! Yay! I'm invited into a man's room. Oh no. I sit on his bed and look around. My eyes shift to his table where I notice a pile of sewing materials and an assortment of puppets. You have been working on your puppets? Yeah, I couldn't sleep either. It's been a while since I last did a show, but I wanted to make sure my puppets and materials are ready to go once this is all over. I'm sure the children are looking forward to seeing your shows again. Yeah. Silence ensues as Walt sits down beside me with one of his puppets. He begins to slowly sew at one of the seams. The silence is deafening. He looks busy, but maybe I should say something. We're gonna say something. Because that's what we're supposed to do. Yes. Sorry, I was itching my I'm worried about what may happen tomorrow. You think too much, Jaybird. I do. I stare at the puppets on his table. When this is over, will you finally let me be your assistant? Walt smiles and pats my head. Yes, when this is over, I'll give you the spotlight. Aww, I'm sure the children will love your puppet shows. Talking about what happens afterwards makes me feel normal. It gives me some hope. Hope that eventually everything will go back to normal. I feel better now. Thank you, Waltz. Oh, I'm not sure you even did anything. You have just by being here with me. You know I'd do anything for you, little star. Ah! Little star. There's that nickname again. Does it bother you? No, I was just wondering where it came from. Oh, right. I never told you the story, did I? Back when I was still your mother's apprentice, my life was dull and empty. Then you showed up. Your circumstances were the same as mine, but your light never faded. You became my hope in that dark place, my light. That is why I consider you my little star. I can only stare at as Walt smiles at me. Oh my god! Right now, all I want is to stay by his side, to stay within the comforts of his warmth. I look at him and the thought shifts into my head, tinting my cheeks pink. Oh, are you thinking the dirty thoughts? Oh no. What is it? Can I stay with you? This is gonna be the best thing ever. I'm gonna get laid. Oh my god. I'm so happy. I'm smiling so much right now. Same. What? Oh, now he's blushing. Oh no. Scandalous. Well. Got your tongue? Pussy got your tongue, Waltz? Waltz's face is tomato red. He looks shocked. I can't. It's not that I don't want you to, but I have an erectile dysfunction. I'm just kidding. I might, diddle you. I might diddle you a little bit. I mean... He glances away and begins mumbling to himself. I suddenly feel dejected. Oh, ouch. Don't make that face, little star. Walt sighs. Okay, you can stay. I'll just punch myself in the dick every time I have a boner. Really? Yeah. Oh my god! Woo! I'm getting laid! I'm just kidding. This is so cute. Wow, my hair is long. I don't think I've ever seen it down like that before. Yeah, we haven't. This is like the first time I've seen her hair down. Looks good. It's good. We both lay side by side in the bed, shifting only slightly. Waltz is especially stiff. I wonder why. Because all the blood is going from his head to his diddle horn. I loop my arms around his waist and snuggle into the crook of his neck. Waltz tenses beneath me. You're tickling his pickle, and he does not appreciate that because he doesn't want to tickle you with his pickle. I feel like I'm being punished. Oh my god! If you wanted to tell me that, Pal, you could have just said something, Waltz. God! I feel like I'm being punished. What? Nothing. Okay. Thank you for letting me stay. My room felt colder than normal tonight. I couldn't help thinking about tomorrow and then about Father, and my words trail off as I try to focus on Waltz's warmth. You know, you're killing the mood by bringing up your father and stuff. He's trying to get off right now. Please do not leave me as well, Waltz. Sorry. Please do not leave me as well, Waltz. Jaybird, look at me. I don't want to look at you. I move back to look up at him. Waltz stares at me with an intensity that makes it difficult to look away. His features are illuminated by the soft moonlight, making them stand out all the more. My heart skips a beat. I'm not going anywhere, Jaybird. I will always be here. I will always be wherever you are. I promise to always protect you. I reach out to touch his cheek. Thank you. He smiles at me before putting his arm around my waist and pulling me closer. I snuggle against his chest, taking in his warmth. Nice. I eventually fall asleep in his arms. Cute. Today is the day. Everyone has been busy preparing for the speech. I was told to relax, and I have used the opportunity to move into the forest and get some fresh air. If only everywhere was as peaceful as this. Jaybird? I turn around to see Ophelia slowly walking toward me, a hesitant smile on her face. Ophelia, I'm sorry that I cannot be of much help during these distressing times. You've already helped me enough, Ophelia. You supported Father when I did not. You have to stay safe, you and the others. You've truly changed. Ophelia takes my hands in hers and looks at me solemnly. Promise me you'll come back to us. I'll be praying that nothing happens today, but if it does, I beseech you to put your safety first. Ophelia, I may not be a real mother, but you have always been my daughter. Aww. Guilt floods through me. I have been cruel to her ever since she first came into our lives, and yet she still treats me so warmly. I do not deserve your kindness after all I have done to you. Emmeline and Rod, I am so sorry. Ophelia pulls me into a hug and smooths down my hair. That's all in the past now, dear. What matters now is the present. I nod and close my eyes. I missed out on so many things when I closed my heart up to everyone. I'd always thought I was alone, but I was wrong. Thank you, Ophelia. Aw. How nice. Sir Alcaster's speech starts in an hour, and everyone is making last-minute preparations before we go into town. Ophelia, Emmeline, and Annis will stay behind as Rod and Rumpel volunteer to watch over them. Delora and Parfait left yesterday to attend a meeting with the fairies. Apparently, they found someone who holds important information about Mother and her plans. Emmeline approaches me, her eyebrows creased.
Jaybird, should you see your mother there? What will you do?
I haven't really thought about it yet. We are bound to face her sometime soon. I know that she is your mother, Princess, but are you emotionally ready to face her? I'm taken aback by her question. Jurin, I apologize for being blunt, but we all have to consider the worst possible scenario, don't we? We need to know that the princess is ready to face her. I need to know that the princess is ready to face her. In a battlefield, one must not hesitate. Jurin continues to look at me, waiting for my answer. I finally face her with determination. I will face her and I will stop her. Good. Good on you. Chapter 9. The Queen. Who knew? Well, guys, that's going to be it for this episode of Cinderella Phenomenon. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this episode and would like to see more of this game, then leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring that notification bell, and remember, die safely. Bye-bye!